Hello, welcome back to HRTV. I'm Xieli.
And I'm Sabrina. So it's been a short week and I hope everyone had a good break. So we're going to start things off with our first story, which is our neighbors in Malaysia seem to be experiencing a brain drain, and they're making a huge effort to try and lure back Malaysians who have been working
In
overseas.
January, the Talent Corporation was established to lure Malaysians back home as well as foreign talent to the country. They are offering, the government is offering long-term resident passes which can be renewed, and it doesn't tie the professional down to a single employer.
I think it's important that locals stay in the country and give back to the economy and society. And also, especially in countries like Singapore where people are our only resources, it's important that we retain them and try and get them to stay as much as possible. However, the article also said that short-term goals can only do so much because you have to get to the root of the problem and sort of figure out why they're leaving. So things like employment passes don't really work if they're convinced that they have to go somewhere else.
The article itself, some reasons behind why Malaysians prefer to stay away include social injustice, discrimination, and even a lack of equality.
Yeah, so I mean, these kind of things like employment passes that can be renewed doesn't really solve the problem. Our next story is closer to home. More than 10 global companies with offices based in Singapore have actually been scammed by con artists while pretending to be recruiters. So what they actually do is that they would charge job candidates a fee to secure job interviews with companies like Singtel and Shell.
Okay, that's really interesting, but I would also wonder about the job seekers and why would they be convinced that these job sites are credible.
Yeah, and I mean, it's also dangerous because when you submit your resume or your CV, you're giving them really private and confidential information like your home address, your IC number probably. So it's really important, I guess, to, like you say, find out if they're credible and maybe call the company, make sure it's all real.
Correct, and one thing to be really wary of was that HR practitioners have to be open with their recruitment process so that con artists do not have a loophole or an opportunity to trick others into submitting like fees.
Yeah, because you don't have to pay for a job interview.
Yes.
Well, still on the topic of the dangerous world of recruitment, some of your employees may actually not be who they seem they are online, at least. Almost half of Singaporean employees actually worry about how social media can affect their career, and a third deliberately edit information that they put up on websites like LinkedIn and Facebook.
With many companies using social media sites as a recruitment tool, I think it's very easy for job seekers to censor information, and in a way I don't think they are at fault because obviously everyone wants to present the best of themselves to the world and to potential employers.
Well, I think as long as they're not putting up fake information, like I graduated from Harvard, I guess it's on a case-to-case basis, but I suppose this is also why face-to-face interviews would never
Go wrong?
Yeah, it's really important, I guess. So speaking of interviews, we also had an article about how you can ace a phone or online interview. So like you say, some companies are pre-screening their candidates or they're hiring from overseas. So what sort of advice do we have for HR professionals who want to do a phone or Skype interview?
Well, I guess first of all, they should ensure that the location is a quiet one and there won't be any interruptions where people might be knocking on your office door and asking like, can I check something with you?
Yeah.
I mean, that gives like the respectable parties to know that it's that even though this is just a phone in or a Skype interview, that it is still professional. You still have to treat it like a face-to-face interview, dressed up, be professional, sound professional, and rehearse.
Yeah, and make sure your phone or your computer is working because you don't want to be cut off halfway through an interview. Our last story is a bizarre HR story. Still on interviews about how some quirks or some actions you do during an interview can really hinder your chances. So some of them are really silly, like don't pick your nose or smell your armpits, obviously.
You can still do that in the in the privacy of your homes, but just not in public where the receptionist or the hiring manager or even your future colleagues might see.
Yeah, exactly.
you.
And on the topic of receptionists, they actually listen in on your conversations while you're waiting in the waiting room. So don't be gossiping about how long you have to wait or how smelly the office is or whatever, because they might actually have a role to play in your hiring.
Yeah, I mean, like the trick is because I think most of us know that receptionists are also known as the gatekeepers to the company. So I think just be professional and smile to everyone.
Just be nice.
Yes.
So if you have ever had a job candidate who was picking his nose or doing something incredibly stupid during a job interview, let us know on our Facebook page. So you can drop us a comment and also like the page to get all our latest news and updates.
Yes, we're also on Twitter as well, so you can follow us there. Do visit our blog for more HRTV episodes, as well as other video interviews.
Don't forget to get the May issue of our magazine with the global head of HR for 3M.
That'll be all, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!